Hi everybody, thank you and welcome back to this channel. Thank you for watching and thank you for the new subscribers that I have. I want to say thank you for coming to my new channel and joining my little community. So I actually just wanted to start the video because we have a lot of go through. I'm gonna make a part 1 and a part 2 of this video, and it's gonna be about books that I still need to read that I'm actually really excited for to do in the fall. So I want to read those in October, November, after I got my library books done. So let's dive right in. I have 2 books from a series. It's Gleam and Glow. You have the first book is actually Gilt and Glint, and I've read those from the library. These they didn't have, so I bought them because I'm actually in love with Raven Kennedy's writing. It was really good and I'm really excited to see what is gonna come. You still have the 5th one is gold and the 6th one is Goldfinch. You still have those 2, but I said I'm only gonna buy 2 and see if I still like it, and then maybe purchase the rest of the series. Also the 1 and 2 that I don't own but have read. So that's the first 2. Then you have Tempest of Tea. You can see I've already put a bookmark in it because I read the first page. I just wanted to see what the writing was all about. I've heard a lot of this about the Tempest of Tea. It's actually about a tea room who turns into a bloodhouse for vampires at night. And it's some sort of illegal or something. So I'm actually really excited for this. Yeah. I think it was a standalone, or maybe a second book was coming out. I'm not really sure actually. Oh, actually I do. I think there's going to be a second and third one. No, doesn't matter. I'm really excited to read this one. And I actually haven't told you about what the last one is about. So I'm going to switch back to that now and I'll show you. So like I said, Gleam and Glow. And this is actually a King Midas retelling. It's in the series, the Plated Prisoner series. And it's actually about the girl. And it's actually about a girl from King Midas. She is covered in gold. And it's actually her story about being the favorite of the King Midas and her world. And how she's living there. And what King Midas is doing and what he's doing wrong and everything about that. I actually really love this series because it shows a lot of world building, a lot of character building. That was actually, the second book was so good on character building. It was so much character growth that I could see, and it totally took a turn in the second book. The first book was really just getting it all into play so you could get in your head what actually was happening and why it was happening and everything. And the second book, something turns and someone is a bad guy, someone is the good guy, and then maybe it's the other way around and you don't know anymore. You get really confused. But I liked getting confused because I could still follow the story, but it was really confusing to know who was the bad guy now and who's the good guy now. I don't know anymore. So I was really intrigued to see if Gleam and Glow could clarify it up a little for me, and maybe even the books after that. So that was what Gleam and Glow is about. Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So I heard a lot about this, haven't read it. It's about a circus. And it doesn't really have a big plot, I heard, but it is kind of dreamy and fairy tale-esque and everything, all of that. It's about Celia and Marco, the 2 young magicians, and they have trained for a deadly duel with the lives of everyone in the Circus of Dreams at stake. They must test the very limit of the imagination and their love. So that's not all of it, but I think that's the most important thing to know. This one might be as a surprise. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights. I know. It's by Emily Bronte. It's a classic. We never read classics at school. We could mostly of the time choose our own books that we wanted to read for Dutch classes. and if we couldn't, they chose for us, and they never chose Wuthering Heights or any of the classics that I actually do want to read. I heard amazing things about this. Emily Bronte is apparently very good at what she does. And the back says, he's more myself than I am, whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. Which I think is already enchanting to hear that someone speaks like that. Nobody speaks like that anymore, do they? No, they don't. So this is very, very, very romantic and magical to me. And look at this cover. It's like a little foil, like gold foil on the cover, and look at that. Look at the back. That is just stunning. Sides, the spine. It's a really stunning book, and I'm really excited. But I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to understand what they're writing because it's such an old language, and the way people communicated back then is different from now. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm actually very excited. Legendary by Stephanie Garber. It's the second one in the Caraval trilogy, and I've already read that. The first one. This is the second one. I think I already know what it is about, the second one. I'm not going to tell you because you need to read the first one to know what the second one is about. But essentially they get to go to Caraval, and it's some magical circus thing that the audience plays in, and all these things happen, and it's really cute, and I think about it a lot, and I had the thinking that I didn't like the first book as much as I wanted it to, but I do still think about it a lot. So I think it's more than the stars that I gave it, because it's still lingering somewhere in my head and doesn't really let me go fully. So I think that's a really good thing about a book. So this is the second book, and we'll see what happens to the sisters, because it's about two sisters. Ruthless Vows, also a second one. It's the from the duology. Divine Rivals is the first book. This is the second book. I heard that the second book is not as good as the first book, so I'm really scared to read this, but really excited because I do want to see, yeah, all that's going to happen. It ended on kind of a cliffhanger, the last one, so I really want to know what happens next. I really want to know what happens next, to see if everything is alright, how are the typewriters, magical writing. Read the first one. So, Ruthless Vows, second in the Divine Rivals series, duology. The first one was about magical writing and two people that join up together, and really a fun character building, character growing, essentially world building. It's really good. I really loved it. That was one of my favorite ones this year. I'm actually scared of this because I heard a lot of different reviews. You shouldn't go into this book expecting Divine Rivals. That's what they essentially said. But I also have had some books read that people told me weren't any good, and I absolutely loved them. So maybe I love this too. So last one, As Good as Dead, the third book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. This is the last one. You have 3 books, and I'm actually really excited. It's about a girl, Pip. In the first book, she tries to solve a murder that she thinks is not totally wrapped up, and the police thinks it does. I'm not going to tell you about the second book or what the third book is about, but you should read it. Holly Jackson knows what she's doing, people. She knows what she's doing. So I'm reading The Disappearance of Rachel Price right now. Absolutely love it. I do. I like it a lot. So that's actually it. This was the first video. This is the books that we talked about. I'm gonna go over them. So, A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faizal, Gleam and Glow by Raven Kennedy, Midnight Circus by Erin Morgenstern, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Legendary by Stephanie Garber, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I hope you can see them all. So, that's it. This is a part 1 of books I would want to read, that I'm excited for this fall. and maybe even a little bit later, because I'm not sure I can really take all these books just in 2 months. It's a lot to cover, and we still have a part 2 for books I actually wanted to read. So, first part, my cat is making an awful lot of noise. Cat, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come here. She is making an awful lot of noise. Mwah. Yes, you are. Stop making so much noise, Mommy's recording. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you got maybe some inspiration for what you would like to read. If you have any recommendations or things I should read, leave them in the comment below. I will be really happy to add that to my TBR. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in the next one. Bye!